Hello everyone and welcome back to GDG DSA, and today let's solve the problem LeetCode 238 product of array except self. This is a medium problem but it's not that hard, so I recommend that you try this yourself, and then if you cannot solve it, come and see the solution. Right. So the problem has a pretty standard solution and it does not differ much in Python or C++. So today for a change, we'll just be using Python, right? So you can actually easily copy the solution over to C++ without any difficulties. And if you cannot, you can always ask me. I will be active on our Discord or anywhere, right? So let's read the problem statement. The problem is quite straightforward. It says that given an integer array nums, return an array answer such that answer of I is equal to the product of all the elements of nums except nums of I. And the second statement says the product of any prefix or suffix of nums is guaranteed to fit in a 32-bit integer. You must write an algorithm that runs in big of n time without using the division operation. All right. So the problem is pretty straightforward, that we have an array nums, and for each element in nums, the answer will be the product of the array if we exclude nums of I from that product. So for example, in the example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. The product of the array is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, which is 24. Now, if we exclude 1, the answer will be 2 into 3 into 4. So that's still 24. If we exclude 2, the answer will be 1 into 3 into 4. That's 12. If we exclude 3, the answer will be 2 into 1 into 4, which is 8, and so on up until 6. All right, for this array, second example, -1, 1, 0, -3, and 3. The total product will be 0 since there is a 0 in the array, and 0 multiplied by anything is 0. And so the answer for every index will be 0 except the index where 0 occurs. Here the answer will be -1 into 1 into -3 into 3. Now, what will be the most naive way to solve this? The most naive way to solve this will be to, for each index, multiply the entire array except excluding that index. So for one, what we would do is that we would go through the array except when I is equal to 0, which is the index of nums, skip that position, except other than that, just keep multiplying and you'll get the answer. The constraint says that num's length is bounded by 10 raised to the power 5. That means that the n squared order of growth of n squared is a no-go. It will not work. It will time limit exceed. Now, the observation here, the key takeaway here is that what are we actually doing if we are doing it by brute force? What we are actually doing is we are multiplying every element except the current element. Now, the multiplication of every element except the current element. Now, isn't that a lot of same multiplication? We are multiplying the same number together, except a single number is not being multiplied. Now, is there a way that we can actually multiply these numbers together and exclude a number in constant time with a bit of pre-compute? The answer is yes. And that can be achieved using prefix and suffix arrays, right? So for example, if we have an array, so if we have even a sequence of numbers, let's say we have a sequence of numbers um, from, let's say the first number is A1, then we have A2, then we have A3, all the way over till A of n. We have n numbers, A1 through n. Now, the product of this sequence would be A1 into A2 into A3 into all the way up till A of n, right? Now, if I remove A2 from the equation, the product will be A1 into, and just A2 is removed, therefore we go directly through to A3 and all the way to AN. If I remove A3, if I were to calculate the answer for A3, it would just be A1 into A2, remove A3 and all the way to AN. Now, what we need to observe here is that when we remove an element, we are still multiplying the elements that come before that and the elements that come after that. So that means we are multiplying this prefix and this suffix. So the prefix ending at the element for which we need to find the answer excluding that element. So the product of that prefix and the product of the suffix um, that ends at the current element, the element we are finding the answer for, excluding that element. Now, for each index, that is the answer. So we can conclude that for index I, the answer would be just the prefix ending at I minus 1 multiplied by the suffix ending at I plus 1, right? And just to drive home that point, we can just use an example. Let's say we have the question example 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's make a prefix and the suffix array. Now, the prefix for index 0, excluding index 0, would be 1 because we are not multiplying any elements, and the identity element of multiplication operation is 1. And for the index 2, the answer will be 1 because now we are multiplying up until this point, 1, right? For index 3, the answer will be 2 into 1, which is 2. For the index 4, the answer will be 3 into 2 into 1, which is 6. This is my prefix array. For the suffix array, let's do it from the back. For the element 4, the answer will be 1 because we are also excluding 4, right? So, and the identity is 1, so the answer is 1. For 3, the answer is 4. For 2, the suffix is 3 into 4, which is 12. And for 1, the suffix is 24. Now, our claim was that the answer to the ith index will be prefix into suffix. So let's test that. So given the prefix and the suffix, the answer will be 24 into 1, 24, 12 into 1, 12, 4 into 2, 8, and 6 into 1, 6, which is the answer. So that claim is correct. Now, so the only point of contention here is how we calculate the prefix and the suffix arrays, right? So to calculate the prefix array, we will notice that we can actually just do it in a big of n time complexity in a single pass. Just go through each element. So we encounter 1, store a current, right? Store a current as 1. Let's start with 1. Then multiply the current element we have. So 1 into 1, the current becomes 1. Now we encounter the next element, multiply 2 with the current, so it becomes 2, and so on. When we encounter 3, multiply with current 3, so it becomes 6. And so we can actually do it in a single pass. Similarly with suffix. So we can start implementing that. So let's write down the idea. So the idea was to create a prefix array, create a suffix array, and create result array. All right, so we can start with creating a prefix array. Let's call this array prefix and initialize it. Let's have a current element which starts at 1 because 1 is the multiplicative identity. Now we will loop through the array for I in range length of nums. Now, since we do not want to include the current element in the prefix of I, it needs to be the sum up until I minus 1. Therefore, we simply first add current to the array, then we multiply nums I with current. This will give me the prefix array. Similarly, for suffix, we can have a suffix array initialized as an empty array. Then we can have a current element as 1, which is the multiplicative identity. Now here, instead of looping from front to back, we can loop in reverse for in range length of nums minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. So this is the syntax to loop in reverse in Python, which is just telling me that start from the last index, go till 0, and decrement 1 each cycle. Well, now we do suffix dot append current, and current is equal to current into suffix num side. Now, if we print our suffix and prefix arrays, prefix and suffix, you will notice that the prefix array is correct, 1126, that we calculated here, but the suffix array is actually in reverse. We needed to be 24 1 24 12 4 1. right? So we can just we can just reverse it manually, right? So I can just write suffix dot reverse. So that's an list function. Now we have the correct prefix and suffix arrays. Now to build the result array is quite simple. I'll initialize a result array, then I'll just go for I in range length of nums. The result will be for the ith index prefix I into suffix I, and we can return a result. All right, let's see. And it works. Now we can try submitting our solution, and it works. Nice. And now this is very similar in C++. We don't have to do anything else here. And so yes, that is all there is for today, and I'll see you tomorrow.